Shalom, shalom to the 144,000 that elect. Before I get started, let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to the brothers that are preaching the truth in the four winds of the earth. And Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, have mercy upon you. Alright, y'all. It's kind of late here. I'm on this guy page, CJ Werleman show, right? And he has as I was going into last night concerning, this is one of the videos that I had watched that I was referring to. So I just decided to do a video on this video concerning Israel hides damage from what devastating Iranian missile attack. So let's get right into it. Let me turn it up.
Desperately trying. Hello, I'm CJ Werleman, and in this episode, we reveal how Israel is desperately trying to downplay the devastating destruction that Iranian missiles have wrought upon the Zionist state. But first, please remember to like and subscribe to our show. Now let's get into it. I never fully appreciated the German word Schadenfreude until Iranian ballistic and hypersonic missiles slammed into Tel Aviv over the weekend. In English, Schadenfreude means to take great pleasure from another person's misfortune. And hardly anything has brought me more joy than watching Israelis take to social media to complain about being bombed by a foreign military. The irony couldn't be more delicious, because the same people who told Palestinians to stop crying about being bombed are the same people who are now running and scrambling for the nearest bomb shelter. Call it karmic justice, call it righteous vengeance, or call it something else. But Iranian missiles have gone a long way to restoring our faith in humanity and our hope for ultimate justice. And justice is exactly what this is. Remembering that 82% of Israelis celebrate the genocide that has taken place in their name for the past 21 months, resulting in the slaughter of upwards of 100,000 Palestinians, 75% of whom were women and children. We are talking about a genocide that Israelis have turned into a major tourism attraction, as they enjoy picnics and take selfies while Palestinians are incinerated and starved to death in the background. But now how the tables have turned. Israelis are getting a taste of their own medicine, having started an unprovoked war against Iran, a country that boasts the largest and most diverse ballistic missile stockpile in the Middle East.
Ballistic missiles. They say that those missiles, you know what? Hold up, I'm pull this up right quick. This is let me pull this up right quick. Bear with me. I was gonna repeat what she said, but I'm gonna let her tell you that. Let her tell you what was this white woman here. Let's see. Let me make sure this up. Listen to this here. Hold up.
They know Iran doesn't have a nuclear weapon. That's the only reason they're comfortable attacking them. Because they know Iran cannot attack back with nuclear weaponry. And they arrogantly thought their Iron Dome was going to protect them. But it literally collapsed within 24 hours. A lot of people may have seen earlier videos where a whole bunch of Iran's weapons were being intercepted by the Iron Dome. The Iron Dome, by the way, actually shoots a missile up to intercept and blow up other missiles. But what they didn't get is that Iran was intentionally sending old missiles to wear out, to use up the defense. And once they felt like they had sufficiently worn down the defenses of the Iron Dome, then they started unleashing the heavy-duty stuff. And Iran has hypersonic missiles, and I don't know if you've seen one of those on video. It is insane how fast they come in. You're not getting out of the way of a hypersonic missile. You may be able to see some other type of missile up in the air heading your way. You run for the hills. You're not running from a hypersonic missile. As fast as you see it, it's there. It travels faster than the speed of sound. So it hits you before you even hear it coming. They've also unleashed a new type of weaponry that we've never even seen before. Hey Siri, how many missiles does Iran have? It's going to be in the thousands. 3,000 ballistic missiles. They're going to level Israel like a parking lot.
So that was an old TikTok video I ran across. Just, I mean, here and there, I couldn't, you can't go through every point that they make and whatever. Sometimes they go off and say something that they don't have been the same. But for the most part, she's on point. So let's continue this here.
Israeli cities.
Oh, my point was the hypersonic missiles. He said you can't hide from them. Once you see them, when they come, they come. Hey.
Are on fire. This is not Gaza. This is downtown Tel Aviv. This is what Israel is desperate to keep hidden from the world, as it does its best to conceal the magnitude of Iran's counterattack. What Israel really doesn't want you to know is that its much vaunted Iron Dome air defense system completely failed against Iran's third wave of attack on Sunday evening. You can see Iranian missiles moving freely over Israeli airspace to reach their targets. You're watching an Iranian missile completely destroy a missile interceptor at Israel's Nevatim airbase. Boom, a direct hit, it's gone. And now, you're watching a ballistic missile slam into Israel's equivalent of the Pentagon, the Ministry of Defense building, a direct hit that Zionist-controlled media outlets refuse to report. That is with the exclusion of Fox News, which earned the Israeli government's anger by reporting the truth on this occasion.
The Iranians have responded with 3 waves of ballistic missiles. This is Israel's version of the Pentagon, the Kiryat. And the building on this compound was just hit.
Please go back, please. Go back, please.
You can understand here, it's very tense at this specific location.
Now check this out, right? He's reporting, right? And as he's reporting, the guys, the Israel, the small hatters, running them around and don't want them to picture and take pictures of anything, because he's doing what he's reporting in the news. But we all know that it says Fox News because we know Fox News they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna chop it up and cut it up anyway and put their spin on there anyway.
Because the Iranians are now targeting the defense establishment of Israel. And so I'm going to have my cameraman pan up here to this building just across the street from the Kiryat. And so,
see how they run him off? Every opportunity every chance that he got to film the buildings and film the destruction that was taking place over there, what did he do? They run him off. Listen up.
Israel claims that only 8 Israelis have been killed by Iranian strikes during the past few days. But then again, Israel lies about anything and everything, even things you can see clearly with your own 2 eyes. The reality is way more Israelis have been killed, with dozens, possibly hundreds or even thousands of Israelis buried or trapped beneath the rubble. They now share a similar fate to the more than 10,000 Palestinians who remain buried under the rubble of their own homes in Gaza. An irony lost on Netanyahu's official spokesperson, who now complains about Israelis being targeted while they sleep. Maybe somebody should tell him that 50% of all Palestinians killed in Gaza during the past week were killed while sleeping in tents, as others are murdered while lining up for food and humanitarian aid. Israel is finding out the hard way that it's far more difficult to fight against the military of a nation state than it is to kill starving children in an open-air prison. And whereas the Palestinian resistance is armed only with light weapons and homemade rockets, the Iranian military is armed with some of the most lethal missiles available on the planet. This is Ramat Gan City, located on the edge of Tel Aviv. Bam! Devastating impact. And this is the Mediterranean port city of Haifa, where hypersonic missiles took out a major oil refinery depot, leaving behind a scene of utter devastation.
See that so-called white lady, she wasn't lying. You see those hypersonic missiles, see how they come in? They come, they hit the target, they go bam. Ain't no waiting.
Station.
Whoa! Oh! No! What? Oh, shit! Oh, shit! No, baby! No! Are we dangerous here? Yeah, we're dangerous!
This is Tel Aviv, where missiles are slamming into Israeli targets with relative ease.
Wow. Wow.
A spokesperson for Israel's foreign ministry did the rounds on British television to relay how difficult it was for him to explain to his 9-year-old daughter why they had to rush to a bomb shelter during the middle of the night, which begs an obvious question.
I remember this. They had their children putting their signature on these bombs here. I remember that.
Is this his 9-year-old daughter? Did she write her name on a bomb that killed Palestinian children? You see, unlike Israel, Iran is not deliberately targeting civilians, which even Israeli military acknowledges to be true, saying that 90% of Iran's missiles are fired at Israeli military sites. And because every Zionist accusation is a confession of wrongdoing, it falsely accused Hamas of hiding beneath hospitals in Gaza, while Israeli soldiers construct a new military command base underneath Tel Aviv's Ichilov Hospital. They really are a shameless bunch of lying cowards. So much so that even Israeli comedians are taking to the bombed out streets of Tel Aviv to mock their leaders for
Let me read some comments, y'all. Let me read some of these comments here. Oh, you got quite a few of them. Said say, at first I thought Israel was a province of the United States. Then I became convinced that the United States was a province of Israel. Who didn't know that? Israel is not used to fighting an opponent that can fight. Yeah, they used to fighting against people that don't have don't have the equipment that they have to fight back, should I say. You know, they got a few AKs and shooting and this and that, and they just, and them Israelis, the small hell, they just sitting back and picking them off. Hey man, but it is what it is. You know, I have no sympathy for neither side. As an Iranian, I always felt like we were alone in the global community and our voices were not heard, but after reading the comments, my mindset changed. Thank you all. Yeah, none of y'all gonna be in that land in a minute. Hey dude, thank you for delivering this post without bias. It shows that you stand for what truth, justice, and righteousness. No, the true justice is Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Iran has every right to what? To defend itself. 82% of population endorses ethnic cleansing. What kind of education have they been providing to their population? Let me read a couple more. I don't think anyone feels bad for Israel after what we have been witnessing for the past years. You know what? Let me stop this right quick. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Another thing, brother. Oh, it ain't on. That's good. Anyway, let me read a few more. Let's see what the Rack say. He said, I bet most people in the world have been waiting for this moment for nearly 2 years. Yep. As an American, I lost confidence in Israel over the treatment of the people of Gaza. For them to expect America to get involved on their attack on Iran is just disgusting. We don't want to want any involvement in this. See, the world is waking up to the wickedness of these people, including America, because hell, they've been doing this thing forever, and they've been getting away with it. But see, the reason a lot of so-called white people see it now is because of their own suffering. They themselves over here in America is going through something. So let's head on out.
Bombing every country in the Middle East.
Shalom from Tel Aviv. Today I'm giving you a guided tour of what happens when you bomb other countries for fun and act surprised when they shoot back.
Stick around. Next stop, denial and international outrage. Thanks to your support, we've been ignoring war crimes since 1948.
More worrying for Israel is it's running out.
Ain't that so? Let's play that back. Let's play that back.
Their leaders for bombing every country in the Middle East.
Shalom from Tel Aviv. Today I'm giving you a guided tour of what happens when you bomb other countries for fun and act surprised when they shoot back.
Stick around. Next stop, denial and international outrage. Thanks to your support, we've been ignoring war crimes since 1948.
More worrying for Israel is it's running out of intercepting missiles.
1948 when they got that land, y'all. That's why we call them the 48ers, right? But we know that the land that they're in is Jerusalem. You know, Jerusalem is a people before a place. So just because they're in the land and they're calling themselves the people, they're not the people, and the world knows it now. The world knows that they are the wicked of the earth.
For its Iron Dome air defense system, with US officials now worried that further retaliation from Iran will drain the US global missile stockpile to a horrendous level in coming days. This reality is not lost on ordinary Israelis, who see clearly the writing on the wall and are now fleeing the Jewish state in record numbers, which has forced the Israeli government to ban its citizens from leaving by air. A new report claims that Israel is now paying thousands of dollars to escape Israel by small yachts from the port cities of Haifa and Ashkelon. And there's a situation.
None of this is on the news. None of this. They're not reporting any of this.
Situation turns ever worse for Israel, the greater the probability it will carry out a false flag attack to drag the United States into its war.
There you go. And also, I mean, he spoke on false flag. False flag it's not only gonna be in Israel, you know. No, they've been doing false flag forever anyway. But even America. But America has what? When a false flag go over here in America, trust and believe, there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be deleted. A lot of people gonna be deleted. And I think it's gonna be at one of those major events. Football games. I think football game. Basketball game possible, but I think football game be more packed and crowded. And with a major concert, it's gonna be a whole lot of wickedness going on, man. Right? A lot of wickedness going on, and you are not ready for it.
Because here's the thing, Israel cannot defeat Iran, and nor does it have the capability to hit Iran where it counts, deep inside its mountain fortresses. And you can't end Iran's nuclear program until you destroy its uranium enrichment capabilities, which can only be reached with US bunker buster bombs. The problem for Israel is that Trump has stated clearly that the US won't get actively involved in Israel's war unless Iran targets Americans, which is ominous given Israel has a proven history of dragging the US into wars via false flag attacks. Remembering that it bombed a US naval ship killing 34 American sailors in 1967, in an effort to expand its war of choice against Arab states that same year. But let me finish with this. What frustrates and maddens me the most is the thought of how many lives could have been saved in Gaza had Iran or anyone else hit Israel this hard and much sooner. That said, we must accept good news wherever we can find it. And the great news here is Israel is heading towards a shattering defeat, because its allies are cutting it adrift and its enemies are growing more emboldened. Anyway, that's my time for today.
Alright, y'all, that's it for today right here. Let's get into the precepts. Let me see what I want to put up in y'all real quick. I want to get this guy ain't going nowhere, so I'll leave this on there. Let's go to. I'm just gonna hit a few precepts, man. I'm gonna close this out. I'm getting pretty late. I know it's already late, but this is Jeremiah 49:16. Thy terribleness has deceived thee, and the pride of thy heart, O thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks, that holdeth the height of the hill. Though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, saith the Lord Yahweh. So the Most High Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai is giving these devils a taste of their own medicine, and it's about time. You know these what that precept is Luke 21:22. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Right? That was referring to us when we were fleeing, when the Heavenly Father brought judgment upon our head. Now Esau Edom is losing his grip. You know, he's still there though, but he still got a whole lot of more hell to bring on us before he do come out of that seat at being root of the earth. So these devils, their days of vengeance is at hand. Let's go to what's that one? First Thessalonians. First Thessalonians 5 and verse 5 and 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, so it's the so-called ceasefire, right? So they say. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So that's how it gonna come. Just like you seen those ballistic missiles that Iran was shooting over there, and those small hatters guess what? That's how that destruction is gonna come in the night. Uh, when the time comes for hey for America, which is Babylon. Hmm? But we on Israel, but you know they both are one and the same because they both are going to get somewhat of an equal destruction, but no one is going to get that destruction like America, because America again is that lake of fire. America is that lake. Verse 4 of 1 Thessalonians 5 and 4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Why is that? Excuse me. Let's drop down to verse 6. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. Meaning what, man? Pay attention, man. Pay attention to what? To worldly events and the things that are going on. This is how you would know how close we are to the end. But mainly what? Listen to the prophets that are prophesying and telling you and giving you instructions from the Lord, because when we prophesy of what? The scriptures, which is the truth of the scriptures. And a lot of you all can care less about what the scriptures say, because you're what? You're full of yourself. You're full of yourself. And soon you're gonna catch that hell that the heaven doing Jacob trouble. You know, a lot of you gonna suffer. Especially a lot of you women, you're gonna suffer, man, in those times. All that proudness and that proud behavior, just like Esau Edom is getting his at this present moment, you're going to get yours. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are what of the day, meaning in this truth, be sober, putting on the what? The breastplate of faith of who? Yahweh. Why Yahweh Shai, man? That's faith. That's true faith in the true and living power. In love, and for what? For an helmet, the what? The hope of salvation. Because salvation, that's the mercy that the 1/3 starting with the 144,000 of men. That's the mercy that are going to be received. I was gonna go. I'm not gonna go anymore. I'm gonna close it right there, man. I'm gonna go into Joel and a few other and go on into concerning. I won't make that long tonight. It's already late. Let's read that again. Verse 1 Thessalonians 6, verse 6. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are what? Drunken in the night. But let us who are what? Of the day, that in this truth that know what's going on around us, and are aware of the times that are coming, and that are aware of concerning every aspects of the prophecy that the prophets speak. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, man, and loving for a helmet for the hope of salvation. So that number say, call halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem Rokah Kodash Shalom.